Hello, everybody. Oh God, someone's short was sitting here because I do not fit in this camera. Okay, I'm gonna let me scoot down. Let me get down.
Let me adjust it.
There we
All
go.
right.
We're good. Whew. Professional production value here, guys. Welcome back. More TI action. It is time for NiP versus Navi. I'm GodZ. He's Lacoste. How
Yes,
you doing?
Still am. Man, we've seen some amazing Dota today, and the
Yep.
one thing I like about the TI is you never know what's going to happen. There's always a month and a half before it, and we see a lot of different heroes that we are not used to seeing in different roles. You see these position 4s, which are pretty much unorthodox, and you know what I like? I like Ogre.
Ogre. I like Invoker, man. The Invoker support. It's good.
Man, Ogre's Solar
Yeah,
Crest,
Ogre, yeah.
you can multicast Solar Crest. That's actually insane. If you 4-time multicast, we've seen a
Solar
Hex.
Crested, yeah.
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 All right, so we have Navi
Navi.
against NiP. Navi looking way better than what anyone would expect, I guess.
5 wins, 3 losses. And who were some of those games against Lacoste? Do you remember? They played EG.
They beat Virtus Pro.
I think they got a
2-0.
draw against EG. That's EG's only win. Well, I think they had a draw against Navi. Correct?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
EG Navi did play. And we obviously know EG only has 1 win. So it was either a draw or Navi win. I want to say it was a draw. 2-0 against VP. That's the big result. Obviously, those inter-regional matchups can
Yeah,
be
I think
kind
it's
of
way
crazy.
easier for them to play Virtus Pro because they were the I'm not gonna say second best CIS team because there was a Gambit, but at the end of the season, Navi stepped up. They stepped up when it mattered.
And even in a lot of those qualifiers for majors throughout the year, Navi was taking games off VP. So this wasn't like some sudden thing that Navi beat VP for the first time. They've been doing this throughout the year. But Navi also played a few other opponents. Who else did they play? Lacoste.
Let me
Analyst
just check.
Lacoste.
Let me just check real
Stats,
quick. There's
Statsman Lacoste.
There's too many games being played.
Of course, and we only get to see a small piece of it.
Played 1-1 against Infamous. They
Okay.
beat Virtus Pro, which we mentioned.
And they have another draw,
day
right?
number 1.
Because they have 1 win and 3 draws.
1-1 against OG.
Okay, that's their 4 series. We figured it out. And 1 win against EG.
Yes.
So they have 1 win of their 4 series, which was against VP. Come on, LD. That's not polite. And then as for NiP, they've played way less series. They've only played, was it 2 series so far? No, 3 series so far?
They have
3 series so far.
3 points. I think one win and 1 draw. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think they only had 1 point, right? They hadn't played many games yet.
Yeah, they actually have 1 point. So they have 1 draw and 2 losses.
Yes, it sounds bad, but they've only played 3 series. With that said, 2 losses. Some of them, I think, were against some of the tougher teams. They lost 2-0 yesterday to Virtus Pro, I know. They have a 1-1 draw. Who did they draw against? OG, I want to say? Or did they lose to OG?
They lost to Virtus Pro 2-0 and day number 2, NiP tied against Fnatic 1-1. We're checking things on phone, so this takes a little bit more time than usual.
And then they would have lost. They played OG, I'm pretty sure. So they got 2-0 by OG.
Yeah.
Well, OG's doing well so far. Well, there we go. That sets the scene for you guys, the viewers, as well as us. You know, we have had so many games going on. We can't catch them all, unfortunately. It's easier to follow all the games when you're not casting. Turns out when you're casting, you
exactly. When you're at home, you can watch multiple games on this probably 2 screens. Someone maybe even have 3. But let's focus on this one. Treant Protector first pick with Alchemist. This is going to be really hard to take him down.
Yep.
They still don't have any Spirit Vessel carriers. They use this AA ban really well. This is really odd opening, I'm going to call it. Treant Protector first pick, not what we usually see.
Yeah, they, like you say, they took advantage of AA being banned by NiP themselves. And we'll see what NiP transition into off of this.
Yeah, instantly pick Jakiro, position 5 that can do so much. The overtime damage against Treant Protector's heal is the biggest one.
Yeah. Yeah, they do at least respond to the Treant with their opening too, and they respond with most likely a 5 position. So being able to deal with living armor from the 5 position role is definitely pretty nice. But they're going to need some damage to kill this out. That's something they don't have. Slark was banned. He's definitely one of those carries that matches up very nicely. And here's the damage. Here's the hero to help deal with the Alk.
That's a great
Timbersaw.
response against these two strength melee heroes.
Yep. Is there any chance we see Navi go OD? You can do safe lane out, pick an OD against Timber.
They could, yeah.
Not right here necessarily. I don't know if you want to be picking it on this spot. You may just want to get your 5 position, get your Siniko hero. Zayats is one of the best Treant players. He is an expert on this hero. Played it all the time when I was on Vega before joining this Navi team, and since joining Navi, he's been running it quite a bit. He's got quite the fun 4-position pool. Treant, techies.
Yeah, he definitely is the standout player in that team. At least that's my opinion.
Zayats. Yeah, I mean as far as like you go further back with this Navi team, not many of these players have been on this Navi roster for that long outside of like what Crystallize and maybe Siniko now.
Yeah, he joins and then leaves, joins again.
Yeah, that's kind of been Siniko. And then you've got Magical, who obviously replaced Dendi early this year.
All right, so they instantly picked this Razor.
Yeah.
They're one of the few teams who actually played the Razor 3 out of 4 games, if I'm not mistaken.
And they've won all 3, right?
Yeah.
Undefeated hero out of 4 games, so a small sample size. There's always going to be a few heroes that get picked 3 or 4 times and win them all. Doesn't mean they're OP, just means they're being picked situationally and winning games. And this looks like an amazing Razor game.
It definitely does. I mean, you're playing against the 3 melee heroes and the Jakiro. Huh. It's also a good lifestealer game if you exclude the Razor.
yeah, for sure. The one thing about the Razor versus Timbersaw, sure you can steal a lot of damage from him, but Timber doesn't really care that you're stealing his damage, and Razor doesn't necessarily kill Timber the same way that like the OD I mentioned might do.
This will be such an amazing Lotus Orb game on Timbersaw already against pretty much all of their spells: Concoction, Grimstroke, Treant Protector to get out of this ulti, and Razor Static Link.
Yep. Navi sticking with the magical Razor. And that means we'll be seeing Crystallize playing safe lane Alchemist, we're going to presume. Just looking for an off-lane hero for Blizzy. As for NiP, last pick of the draft in their hands, and it is either a mid or an off-lane. Do you kind of have any preference as far as Timbersaw goes? Do you want to see it in the off-lane, mid?
I think they're going to adjust the lanes to have Razor against the Lifestealer matchup.
You don't think Razor's going mid then?
They could put a mid, but against the Lifestealer, I think you want to take away his farm. Like, you do not want to have matchup where Razor is playing against the Timbersaw because you're just going to use Timber Chain to get out of a Static Link.
Yeah. Oh. Legion Commander banned out by NiP. I feel like that's something Navi might consider. I think they've ran that already this tournament. I remember seeing some of their drafts pop up on some of the other TVs around the lobby. And
they're a bit limited on control on Navi's side, so I would love to see some kind of a low cooldown stun. Yep. Sanking's still in the pool.
As soon as you say low cooldown stun, Sanking's I think the one most people are thinking of. Sanking Treant's like, I don't know, maybe not the scariest of lanes, but at the same time, I don't know. Doesn't sound bad by any means.
I'm looking at the hero list. What else is there? I mean, any kind of a disable, because this lineup from NiP will just run away. If they use one Fisher, Timbersaw uses a Timber Chain, they can't really control them. Lifestealer Rage just runs away.
The hero we sometimes see is Centaur. He's done pretty well this tournament. Maybe not the best playing against Lifestealer Timbersaw though. They've got good ways to deal with the beefy fella. That's where Sanking with his elusiveness, who doesn't really get right-clicked as much as a Centaur does. He's not a frontliner per se. And Batrider, there we go. BKB piercing, it's more lockdown. It goes through the rage. It gives them a catch. And there's no save on NiP's side to deal with Lasso right now.
This is Batrider into Lifestealer.
That's
Usually
true.
it's the other way around.
Yeah,
they ban out Queen of Pain to have a good matchup for the Razor, so it's going to be Razor mid. It looks like it.
Yeah. I assume they've, most of the time when Magical's been playing the Razor for them, he's been going mid in the game so far. And we'll see if NiP just send Timbersaw there with the chain. Even if he's chaining out of the link, it still feels like Razor's going to free farm that lane. He may not be able to bully the Timbersaw by any means, but he should be able to farm. and Lina. So they go for a different option for the mid lane as far as matching up against Razor goes. Which means Timbersaw going to be played in the offlane. So looking for that Timbersaw versus Alchemist matchup, it seems, is NiP's idea here.
So Razor, I mean, putting Alchemist mid against Lina is not a good option for Navi, but you would also want to have a better matchup for your Alch. I think Razor can catch up. Both of these heroes can actually catch up in the jungle. Razor is not the same hero that he was before, where he can't farm. Sometimes you see even Razor on top of the net worth list.
Yeah, maxing out like the passive and just stacking jungle camps. Going back for that.
Well, they're going to need to sacrifice one of their lanes because they can't have the better matchups on all the lanes, considering that they have a Batrider against the Lifestealer and Timbersaw against Alchemist. That's what NiP wants.
All right, well, we'll see how they handle some of those lane matchups. As for NiP, Lifestealer, kind of the big hero I feel like to look at in a lot of ways. Hasn't been an amazing hero this tournament, but it is a fairly good Lifestealer game. The question is going to come down to those item timings. Can they slow down the Alchemist Radiance and his follow-up items? Because if Alchemist does get a couple of big items, this new Alch build we're seeing, I feel like actually deals with Lifestealer pretty well.
Yeah, he does.
The BKB, Abyssal Blade, you're able to just Chemical Rage and fight the Lifestealer, bashing him up. So not necessarily the counter to Alchemist if you don't shut Alchemist down enough.
Yeah, but they don't have the best rotating heroes to find Alchemist and gank him in the jungle once he goes back there. I mean, Earthshaker is okay, but who's he going to play with? And what does the Earthshaker level 4, level 5 do?
It's maybe more, it comes down to the Lina, perhaps in the mid lane, rotating, getting some runes and getting aggressive in the enemy jungle, but even that doesn't sound all that reliable or the ideal way to be, playing as a Lina. Lina wants to fall back and farm jungle herself. There's the Magical Razor. His previous match, a win on the TA. Of course, Magical, well known for his TA. It's been I feel like a good year for Magical as a player. He's kind of made a bit of a name for himself on this Navi side.
For sure. I'd say Zayat still is their best player.
Yeah.
But Magical. And Soniko was always stable, at least in my opinion.
Yep.
Like his performance was good. Decided to take a little bit of break and then comes back.
There we go. We'll see an early smoke out from Navi. We'll see how Captain Soniko leads this team.
Yeah, Saxa wants to place a deep ward on high ground near the tier 2 tower, I guess.
Scout those lanes?
Yes.
It does feel like a game where NiP want to make sure they get those good lane matchups. That's why they pick some of these heroes to, they want Lifestealer versus the Batrider, they want Timbersaw versus the Alchemist, and if they can get those lanes, this game goes very well for them.
30 seconds to battle.
Let me see if this, let's take another screenshot. Does that, all right, well we got no, I don't know what's happening. No camera control settings, but we'll make it work.
Both of these teams mirroring the observer ward on the high ground near the tier 2 tower to scout the lanes because they want to have a better matchup here.
Yep. So no lanes really being revealed just yet. Take a look at some of that vision. Will they see anyone? This dire ward. Won't see the Timbersaw down bottom. It doesn't look like it. Will he walk into vision? They haven't seen Timbersaw just yet. They will be playing behind this tower, so maybe Zayats will scout him. And yeah, there we go. The dire ward. They see 33. They see him actually running from bottom to top.
Yeah, but look at what Jakiro is doing. He's standing here so they can't do a movement like this and dodge the ward.
It's going to be Blizzy. He walks into the ward. I think they know these wards are there. So this musical lanes, both teams kind of playing it here. It's giving Saxa the Shaker a free empty lane for now. As Zayats, it's the support who actually TPs in. I think the cores really want these good matchups, and as a result, the supports are actually getting to get some farm in some of these lanes. Jakiro, the 5s are farming down bottom. The 4s are farming at top. And the carries and the offlaners are running around the map thinking, what the hell do I do? You can see here the Batrider's like, can I avoid this ward? No, you can't. You run past it. They know Blizzy's top now. And they know he's top, so 33's like, I'm going to head down bottom. And that means Ace is going to head back up top.
This reminds me of one of the EE games where he was swapping for almost 10 minutes. They ended up losing that game, but I mean, at some point you gotta stop.
Yeah, and right now it's NiP who spend more time swapping lanes, but they are going to get the lanes that they want as a result of it. Does it come at too heavy of a cost, though? That's kind of the question.
Timber saw 0 CS, Lifestealer 0.
Dude, look at the top seat. Jakiro, PPD, 6 last hits. He just denied a range creep against an Alchemist. He's living his best life right now. He's like, what are you doing, 33?
I know what PPD is doing. He's probably saying, guys, keep swapping. Keep swapping. I need 200 gold for boots.
Yeah. He's having a great time. I'm surprised these wards aren't being dewarded because it's become such a common thing to do these lane scouting wards. We've seen it several times now. But I guess if you waste a sentry, you lose so much gold doing it. And finally, lanes, I think, are settling down now. Is this the end of the lane swaps, Laclasse?
I hope so, so you can watch some Dota.
I like the lane
keeping
swaps.
bottom.
I'm enjoying my lane swaps. Don't you take this away from me. But yes, so Trina, I guess that's going to be the solution from Navi. They say, well, we can't get the core matchups we want, but we can trial in to secure the Alchemist farm. And
That's going to be a first blood.
Yep. One more right click. It's going to be Zayat's first blooding PPD.
And now he has Boots of Speed plus Orb of Venom. He can outrun both of these. Timbersaw does not even have a point in
Is he
reactive
getting a
armor.
kill? No, he's not going to go for the Shaker. Didn't want to commit for it. Oh, Shaker had the boots. If Shaker didn't have boots, maybe.
33 is level 1. I mean, you're playing against Terrain Protector who has 92 damage.
And maybe this is where, even though the matchups are what NiP wanted, they're a bit underleveled, and Train Protector able to just do some bullying. He's keeping 33 kind of away from the lane, and with just 1 point in the reactive armor, he can't even get those stacks right now. He needs to be fairly careful down here.
Yeah, whenever you're not doing anything, you should just try to cut these creeps with the Quelling Blade so that he can approach from that side.
Crystallize underneath the tower. Zayat's coming in from behind. Nico doesn't have anything to save Crystallize, so they just lose the Alchemist. They just dive in. That's just a casual whirling death kill.
That's level 2 Timbersaw diving between tier 1 and tier 2 tower.
It works. He gets a kill out of it. There's a leech seed here. Lizzie dying up top. Not thinking about this kill. Another whirling death coming out. The stick charges. 33 is not an easy kill by any means. They drop a sentry here. Zayas! He may just die. He turns and drops a leech seed. Is he going to go for the root? Does do so. I think he realized there's a sentry there. Any revenge kill coming into play, there is going to be an Inkswell. The stun damage is going to be enough to get a kill there. PPD looking for some revenge. This Shakiro PPD is level 3.5, almost level 4. 1 or 2 more right clicks. He's going to win lace. He's going to get another kill. Denies the room, but PPD level 4 at 4 minutes in on Jakiro.
And he's buying the sentries, mangoes. He's going to have almost enough to buy Boots of Speed as well.
Drop some all for his team. We'll see him TP back in. Happy camper.
And because he's high level, he can afford to go for 2-0-2 build. Usually that's what you don't see against, I mean, at position 4.
Yeah.
5, sorry. My brain is not working. Jakiro, who wants to max the Ice Pad.
More aggression out top, down bottom. 33 into a lot of trouble here. Has got 2 points of reactive armor, but with the roots and the magic damage, there is enough. Ti9 back at top. Lizzie with the Firefly is cutting waves behind the tier 2 tower. Is this Dota, Lacoste? What are we watching?
Well, you need to adjust to what's happening in the game. Block from Saksa, but has no mana.
Has no
If
TP
he uses
as well.
Magic Stick, but I don't think it's worth it to chase him.
So what's the plan here? Has got the totem. Gonna do some more stuns here. Lizzie's just trying to, you know, run around in circles. Take some more creep waves away. Up to clarity now. Is he going to steal this bottom wave? Is he?
Yeah, he's gonna drag it to the
No,
side
he's gonna go get another wave top maybe. I think he's going back top for a second wave. He wants the double wave for the next Firefly. Oh, another kill bottom. PPD, that's a high level Jakiro. He's almost level 5. Oh, nice fissure. He actually keeps the creeps away.
They're gonna stop. They're actually chasing.
The Batrider, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, he didn't take the mid ones, but he kept the ones that he had previously. He doesn't take the entire wave. Blizzy is going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. What? Is this this is the fourth lane? You know, there's in Dota you have lane 1, lane 2, lane 3, and Blizzy's like, here is lane 4, outside the enemy base.
And he's taking the mid creeps as well.
He's like, that's a lane tax. Those are mine now. You don't need those, do you, Magical? Nah, you can go jungle. Just give me these lanes. Navi are just on some next level shit right now. This is this is hilarious to watch. He's going to suicide now. There you go. Doesn't lose much gold there. It was only like 50 gold or so from his death that he lost. And TPD down bottom. Level 5 Jakiro at 6 minutes in. Holy cow. He may go down here if he's not careful. Does have the backup from the rotation from Saksa. Short in place as well. Zayat goes invis, but it's brought down. Nice kill, and PPD staying alive here. This is one of the most fun PPD 5-position games I think I've ever seen.
NiP has so many ways to deal with Treant Protector, a lot of spells that can cut down trees with. Macropire, Whirling Death, also Lina's LSA.
A wonky game. All the action mostly happening down bottom is. Batrider also making his plays at top earlier, but he's actually TP'd down now to the bottom lane. Looking for this kill on the Timber Saw. He got the Timber Chain off, so the silence was a little bit too late. And it looks like Blizzy instead was going to go for PPD, but with the tower there, he couldn't actually go for the dive. And Blizzy's rotation, he TP'd in for this one. Doesn't really amount to a whole lot. They don't really want Alchemist and Batrider sharing this lane, so one of them's going to have to fall back. Probably was the outgo jungle now. I feel like he's level 4, but does have the phase double bracer, so it may just be jungle time for him. It looked like Shaker has an observer. Shaker wants to get into this out jungle to get a ward down, either for vision or to block some camps.
Cute little play from Navi right there. Razor walks to the top lane, uses static link, so Lifestealer is forced to TP out, and now Alchemist TP stops so he can have a lane for himself.
Nice. He's going to have a lane as well as some jungle farm, so getting the best of both worlds. Blizzy needs to be careful here. Getting fairly low, does have the Trinkle boots. Vata! Vata's like, thanks for the freebie.
A lot of TPs on the top lane once again.
Yeah, I think they realize the Auk is up here farming and they want to mess with his farm. They don't have to kill him necessarily, but just stopping him from getting these last hits and building up that creep.
He's also level 4. Like, he should be the one getting the tome in this game.
Yeah. At least one of the two. 3 heroes on this Navi side, level 4. Has overall been a very good start for NiP.
This is how we play against Alchemist.
Just run on him. It's 9 minutes in, and he's got absolutely... I mean, he's got items, he just doesn't have levels, which matters quite a bit for an Alchemist.
He's not farming. I mean, he has 36 CS Lifestealers on top of the net worth with 56. But he needs a lane for himself. Either free lane or... Okay, so they warded the triangle. Oh, very nice creeps for him there. Mud Golems plus Satyrs. That's the dream.
Are they going to come in and contest this one? PPD has the Sentry Ward, so he gets the D ward. He pay for this with his life if he's not careful. It's going to be a little Phantom with an Inkswell stun, but that's not going to do enough to get the kill. And Sux is rotated in. He's contesting the golems, as is Fata there. Again, running at the Alchemist. He's only level 5.5. They don't care as much about killing him as they do about slowing down this Radiance.
You know what they say? Chase your dreams, but it feels like they have a different saying. Chase Alchemist, because this dude is not having a fun time this game.
Big fight going on. Bounty runes are about to spawn, which is why this is such a big deal. If Alk can get these bounty runes, or his team can, that would be so much gold for them. Magical gets one, and this one should go Zayat's way. Lifesteal will get the 2 up top, but they're losing heroes here. The Alchemist is actually dead. Lina goes down in the end, but Alki, he died mid. How did Alki die? He just died to 33. Okay.
Level 6 Timber Saw, pretty easy to run him down. He was not level 6.
Alright, we're at the term. Zayat bought 1. Alchemist didn't. At least he's not buying it. Maybe he's asking his team to pull it to him. Very tough start for poor Crystallize. He's still, net worth-wise, even with Lifestealer, but it's not where you want him to be. TP'd in top thinking Magical was overcommitting. Not
They're
the case.
still trying to bully him out of his own jungle.
Maybe this Timbersaw versus Alchemist is not just about the damage output, it's about being able to just talk about invading, and it seems like 33, it's his job to do so. He's creating so much space. 3 heroes came from him, and he just timber chains down to the low ground.
Actually 4 heroes there.
Yeah.
While on the top lane, Lifestealer is having the time of his life. As you mentioned, same amount of farm as Alchemist. And I love the build on Lifestealer. He has Armlet queued up, and then he can swap to whatever he wants. If he wants to go for just right-click damage, even if he decides to go for a Radiance, but getting Armlet this early on will be high value because they can keep the pressure.
Early game as it is. Does feel like Magical's the one who's kind of been rewarded for all this time spent chasing the Alchemist instead of the outcoming farm. Magical's actually in a pretty good spot. He's got 4 points in the passive. He's just, you know, doing his thing.
And the PPD is there to take a couple of creeps away from him.
And 33 is just having a great time playing behind some of these things. Down bottom, Zayats and Magical. They're in deep.
And on the bottom lane, Razor putting a lot of pressure. Meanwhile, Treant Protector hiding. 4 points in that Nature's Guys.
Yep, yep. We're just gonna hop on over. Hello, guys. Don't worry, we'll hop
Hello.
right back into Dota. Dota's coming your way. What's happening to the class? Give us the radio cast.
Well, nothing at all. Actually, there is bottom lane. They're
We
trying
got
to
it.
focus the Razor.
That's a big kill.
4-man rotation just to get a kill on him.
So Razor goes down. Magical is a good game. Yet to die, but also yet to get involved. Like, we're seeing a lot of activity from heroes like the Timbersaw. Razor's been kind of playing that Lifestealer role where he's happy just to hit some creeps, but that death giving away quite a bit to NiP. Pretty much even between the two teams on gold.
He's
but
stacking the enemy jungle, killing the creep wave. Seems like NiP understands how to play against Alchemist.
yeah. They get heroes that farm jungle camps and farm stacks, and then send them at the Alch's jungle. That's what they're doing here. Both Lina and Timbersaw able to invade, and Timbersaw is, yeah, he's a jungle hero now. And by jungle, it's Navi's jungle he's taking, but he is going to get ganged up here. Magical rotating in with the lasso, and there's going to be an X-Ball stun to follow up the lasso. Magical gets the kill. They finally punish him as Crystallize approaches the Radiance that is oh so important this game. 4.2k gold, so he's getting there. He's getting there pretty damn fast.
It's actually going to be a decent timing on the Radiance still. Even though he got really bad laning stage, rough time. He needs only a minute. Blizzy getting closer to his Blink Dagger. Once he gets that, they should buy a smoke, try to get a pick off. Ideally on a Lifestealer, but then you need to rotate Razor as well because of the static link, otherwise they don't have the damage.
We've seen less of this Blink Rush on Bat Ride as it feels, but this game with Alk on your team, it seems like they just want to be able to create as much space as possible.
Even though he's 0, 4, and 2, he actually created a lot of space
Yep.
on the map.
Well, and some of those deaths was like, he suicided to a tier 3, so it's not like as bad as it looks, maybe. Alk's Radiance about to play his back a bit. Magical gets the static link off. Sucks they're being slowed by this one, but I do think Navi will want to back off from this.
Oh, Zayats is scouting them out, has ulti.
Could get off a multi-hero overgrowth. They saw those wards. I think he scouted out those wards being dropped, so they should be able to get the D ward. And they may even want to let Alk get the D ward.
Yeah, Alk has 1 sentry in his backpack, but he's afraid to go there now.
Yeah, they need a... Yeah, they're pinging it. They're saying this is warded here. They're even using the little observer ward ping. And Bounty Runes, Nico got both of the top ones, so NiP were so focused down bottom. It's another Bounty Rune split. Both 10 and 15 minutes we saw Navi get 2 Bounty Runes, so... involved with this early armlet of his. And they are maybe looking to threaten high ground here. 2 points in liquid fire. I'm not, can they bring this high ground? A tier 3 tower this early on would be incredible. I would be surprised, but maybe. It's going to force Navi to pop a glyph here, and
He should be careful because Lasso is up and they don't have any kind of save besides a Fisher. A lot of pings.
Navi are going to wait for them to TP out. They will see the lifesteal at top, so now maybe go time. They get the lasso on the leader, they couldn't quite get that Fissure out, and they're going to have to leave Fata to die. The second that lifestealer shows top with his TP, Navi jump. Very calculated play from them. Coordinating their initiation with the lifestealer TP out, but at the same time, NiP, you know, that's...
NiP stayed there for way too long.
Exactly. That's like Dota 101. If you're pushing enemy near the enemy base and someone's going to TP back to farm another lane, you don't get caught.
You can TP back, farm the jungle.
Yeah.
Unless they have a ward in jungle. So Battle Runes are going to spawn in 10 seconds. So this benefits Navi a lot because they just got a kill and might contest the top rune as well.
Can they get more than 2? They're going to get both the bottom ones. Top one, it doesn't look like it. Ace is going to get that one. They didn't want to risk it. Crystallize himself was not going to be going in. So, I mean, you get 2. You have an Alchemist. You're happy with 2 out of 4 bounty runes. Magical just popping his ultimate to farm some jungle camps a little bit faster. Kind of telling of the state of this game. He's just using his ulti to farm. Navi looking to get those BKB timings. Double BKB will come up very quickly with the rate that Alchemist can farm.
Soneko with that GPM talent on level 10, getting closer to his item, which is going to be a second invisibility item, so there's going to be a lot of sentries and...
Zayat scouts out the
look
smoke, but they know he's here. Zayat is like, do I stay in the trees? And the answer was kind of no. Could have maybe just looked to run south, but he was hoping there was no sentry there. Fortunately for him, they know where he is, and some deforestation to bring him down. And that's his job, though. That's the kind of death that you're okay with if you're Navi. I mean, ideally he outplays them and survives there, but if that's all you lose to that smoke gank and it's not Alchemist, it's not Razor, it's not the end of the world.
Exactly. If you can make something happen, just force them to show on the map so your cores can farm the BKBs and then you're going to take a fight, it's really worth it.
Yep. Will take the farm. Batrider could have gone for this farm, but he's leaving it for the Alch to take. Magical says, can I get
some as well? I'm really close to my BKB.
I mean, Alch has his, but Crystallize wants his next item, has the AC queued up. Normally, it's surprised to not see that Abyssal Blade, but I imagine that'll come afterwards. You are playing into that lifesteal, so the armor is going to be very helpful, but the Abyssal Blade with that rage-piercing bash as well as Abyssal active, very strong as well. Do you know what the Abyssal active is called, Lucas?
I don't know. Teach me.
I don't either.
Super bash?
Overwhelm. There you go. Active Overwhelm. Makes sense, I guess. Don't know why, but...
And there it is. 2 BKBs, they instantly smoke. They also have a vision on them.
What can they catch here? Firefly's already been popped. Leave the Radiant Observer Wards. Maybe scout this one coming in. The lasso is going to catch Sparta again. It's been caught out. Has his defensive yules, but no chance to escape.
They're pinging the tier 1 tower on mid. If it was closer to Roshan, I think they would just got the Rosh. But the tier 1 tower is still standing. They want to have an entrance to their jungle and just have a better map control with this tier 1 tower on the mid. It's in the end the most important tower in the game.
Crystallize in the front lines. Doesn't have Chemical Rage, but it doesn't look like NiP have any inclination to contest this. Annoying stuff coming out. Soneko takes the tower last hit. Cheeky little bugger.
Was that intentional? It looked intentional.
It looked very intentional. Soneko, he is one of the greedier 5s, you know. For a 5, he's a guy that likes to get his farm sometimes. Alchemist, what's he going to buy? Gets the Hyperstone. We're level 14. This out does feel a bit under-leveled. Like, farm-wise, he's doing okay, but you would love to see him working towards some of those really impactful talents, the damage as well as that cleave. Magical up top. Just be careful, goes for the TP out. Saksa, is he going to get the fissure? He guesses wrong. He shot it the other direction. Had the package inside that was the lifestealer.
Also, Batrider is working towards his
Yeah.
BKB, only the recipe away, but for now he's just saving it for a buyback. Oh, the double damage spawned near the Roche. Lifestealer with the Deso. They can easily take it down.
Dire have any way of scouting this one out? They don't. They don't know this one's there.
Oh, he gave him a bottle. They can't really siege with the Lifestealer that you're used to. He goes in, uses Rage, hits the tier 3 tower, because there's 2 spells that go through his Rage. Actually 3 spells, if you want to say Acid Spray, so he's really vulnerable.
They have scouted out this double damage rune in a bottle though. They've got Observer Ward mid, so they know there's a DD on Ace, which means they probably called and said, hey, they might Roshan, they might smoke with an Infest. Be ready for NiP to make some play with this double damage.
They just scouted them out.
The ward saw the smoke?
Yeah. If they're gonna try to bait it with the bounty.
Ooh. Navi want to fight this one.
Just let it be.
NiP aren't going for it though. NiP themselves don't feel safe going to the enemy side of the map. They do not want to take that team fight. Top bounty runes are still there though, and PPD says, thanks. You guys have Alchemist, we'll take these bounty runes. At the same time, Navi, they don't know which direction they smoke, so they were maybe worried that NiP smoked towards that top side of the map.
But still didn't see a full 5 flash for quite some time. Both of these teams are just farming, trying to make something happen. And Lifestealer had AC queued up at one moment, but he is switching to Lincoln Sphere. This is the correct build, because you're playing against the Batrider, against the Razor. You need to have that item.
5 stills infested, and guess what that means? Passive Midas. There we go. Pops out. Just to pop the Midas. Has the double damage rune active now. There's an Arcane rune here as well. He passes the bottle back to Fatu, who can bottle that one up, and he is going for the Roshan. Can Navi get here in time? It doesn't look like they're intent on contesting this one. They're pinging it now, but
it's getting low.
Gotta get here soon.
Well, they have 2 zoning abilities, Fissure and Ice Path.
Alk's not here. He just buys a TP now. Fissure comes in to try and buy some time here. Ace is outside of the pit with his double damage, though he's not hitting Roshan. He doesn't feel safe doing so. Zayas is now in position. He is scouted up by a sentry ward, but Navi see how low Roshan is and also see that NiP have backed off.
PPD, look at his positioning. He is in front. He wants to die so he can TP back with the buyback.
Crystallize. He's going to look to maybe steal this Roshan. Blinks in with the Acid Spray. I don't know if NiP will expect this. They've got to try and scout this out soon. Fissure's available, but do you want to commit the Fissure? There's going to be a blink in. Saxa goes for the Aegis, has been taken by Crystallize. He snatches it as NiP did get the last hit, but Ace is not going to be happy with this outcome. He loses the Aegis, and NiP are losing multiple heroes. 3 have already been slaughtered. The Overgrowth is there as well, and the Timbersaw stopping him from chaining himself out of here. Gets the chain before the silence hits him, but yeah, he is done for.
He already
dead.
Used that Yule Scepter aggressively, and with the Spirit Vessel charge on him, nothing he can do. They're gonna need to use the buyback, because Navi's not stopping. This is a wave with the Catapult.
They've got Catapult, they've got an Aegis on Alchemist. This is trouble for NiP. Navi onto the high ground. And there's just no defending this one. This looks like a free uncontested Rex. Lifesteal doesn't have TP, by the way. 45 seconds without Ace TP bottom to the shrine during that fight, so
they're giving it up.
Yep. I think it's probably the right call. Obviously, it's not a call you want to make, but once you lose that fight and you lose that Aegis, you just say, well, we got tier 2 tower mid, tier 2 tower bot. It's one lane of Rax. We can still play down one lane. Alchemist is a hero that may fall off if we can drag this game out.
Ideally, you would want to take the shrine, but there's a huge creep wave bottom that Alchemist just killed, and now he's going to continue to farm, probably meet at the tier 2 tower on the bottom. They want to make use of this Aegis.
Yep. Crystallize working towards that Abyssal Blade next. Buys some Sentry Wards. What a team player. He just bought them himself. What a carry player, man.
Wow. Not what you usually see.
300 gold. I mean, at some point, you get 6 odds so fast, it kind of makes sense. I don't mind this. But, I mean, I guess he's just saying, like, right now, it's like, I don't have many item slots right to give with the Aegis and the Blink Dagger. Alchemist is a hero that very quickly runs out of room to farm items. He starts pulling Acceptors fairly early on, and he's going to start pulling Sentries early on.
He's gonna scout him out, but he knows something is up. They had a sentry, misses the ulti.
Yeah. Did hit him with the Spirit Vessel, but Saksa able to escape before that damage came into play. And like you said, this tier 2 bottom tower is what they have in mind with the Aegis. Just taking these outer towers, even if you don't go for a high ground push, just means if you win a fight, you can actually get those other lanes of racks without having to, you know, push in that same lane. And Navi positioned on the high ground, there's not much NiP can do to fight around this area.
They're probably gonna take the shrine, even though the bottom shrine is not that valuable since it's further away from Roche.
Well, they're gonna smoke, they're gonna run away from it. They're running up for bounty runes. I think they know NiP are gonna go for these top bounty runes at 30 minutes. And they smoke, head that direction. Can they get here in time? NiP 33. Perhaps going to be none the wiser to this rotation coming in. Doesn't go for the second one. Does have a TP out, and he may have to use it soon, but he's been spotted. Blink Lasso was there. He was mid-animation to cast the Timber Chain out, but that'll be a dead Timbersaw. He needs to get this bounty rune still. There we go. Alchemist says thanks.
They still have a minute and a half.
Maybe they're drawing lines down mid. It looks like they want to get the other tier 2. Get the tier 2 mid, then go for the shrines. Even if Aegis expires, you can still probably go for these shrines because you're so strong with this BKB timing. Triple BKB. There's just so little NiP can do against these. NiP going for a second Lincoln's even on Lina. It's a lot of gold into these
Lincolns. A lot of gold, but where's the damage? They
Yeah.
have no damage whatsoever, especially with the BKB.
Looks like Zayat's bottom lane, trying to mess with them a little bit. Saksa, Fata, looking to bring down this Treant Protector, but Zayat is very tanky. He has now the Overgrowth, and Fata's just going to die here. One or two more right clicks finish him off, and Zayat's baiting the hell out of them.
Treant Protector is extremely tanky, a lot of strength gain, some magical resistance, sitting at 30% right now, also with the Spirit Vessel, 2.2k HP.
Trees can be ferocious if provoked, he says.
Was that the Lord of the Rings quote? You just made that up.
No, it's a voice line.
Oh.
It's one of the Treant voice lines. It's a Dota 2 quote. It's a Treant Protector quote. That's his campaign slogan. Treant Protector.
Vote for Treant.
Arcana 2020, he says. 2019 wasn't his year, but next year, 2 Treant. And Navi just go high ground. 5 seconds left. They did have a buyback on Shaker, and I think Lina did too, but...
Smoke, but look at the positioning from Zayas. He's going to break that smoke.
They're trying to buy this next Lincoln Sphere on Lina, but Zayas is just behind enemy lines. Have an overgrowth in a couple of seconds here. He can blink in for an overgrowth if Lifestealer goes in with a raid. Alchemist getting fairly low in the front lines. They do scout the Treant Protector. Can he overgrowth to turn this one around? They've already killed off the Lina, though. There's just no opening for this lifesteal to get in the fight. Timbersaw's going to instantly buy back. There's the overgrowth, keeping everyone in place, but the rage is up, so Ace just gets right out of it, and Magical forcing himself out of this one, gets away from the raised up lifesteal, and this lifesteal's rage is gone, and NiP have lost 3. They've also been forced to buy back on the Timbersaw, and this fight looks all but over. Zayat is just kiting the hell out of them.
Man, Zayas, what a player. He's just standing in the trees using Spirit Vessel on Earthshaker. He used 3 charges of Spirit Vessel, and Earthshaker could not blink in to use any of his spells.
So well played. He didn't have Echo Slam, but it's, regardless, it's such a high impact play to make as a Treant Protector, and with all these heroes dead, they're just going to go for the Mega Creeps now. Saksa can't blink in the Acid Spray as well, and he's got the lifesteal inside them. He's got to find an opening to get into this one. He looks for a Blink Totem, he doesn't find it.
Echo's on cooldown.
They're just going to lose Timbersaw. That's a dieback. This is looking like game. They're going to go for the Mega Creeps, and I don't think there's anything NiP can do.
Mega Creeps, it is. I mean, they can try to make a comeback. We've seen a lot of the comebacks. I pit up one more time.
They get the razor down nice and low with the lifesteal fall, but there's a 4-star. Magical gets kept alive. Limit Cape and Living Armor. Ice committed everything for it. They get the Alchemist in the end, and they do save their racks. It's a range racks on half health, but it's something. It's better than nothing. It's better than Mega Creeps. I'll tell you that, Lacoste.
We've seen like 3-4 Mega Creep comebacks, if you count in Mega Creep's comebacks where they lose all their Raxes and just run down the mid. So game's still not over, even though it's looking extremely bad for NiP right now. Also next Roche may respawn in 50 seconds. Good,
Alchemist is going to be
timing,
back for that.
yeah.
That's the important thing if you're Navi. They hit level 20 on Razor, which means he gets that Eye of the Storm talent now as well. He's probably asking his bro, where's my Ag Scepter at? I wouldn't mind one of those. Doesn't look like any Ags coming out anytime soon. And if anyone deserves one, I'd maybe give it to Zayats here, how well he's played. But at the same time, tree and Ags this game with all the tree cutting abilities, maybe not the best thing in the world.
If it comes to that, I would give it to Grimstroke actually.
Oh. Over the Razor?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they don't have to siege the towers anymore. They killed all tier 3s, and with the Dark Portrait, you just use it on a life stealer, but you need to pop his Lincolns.
Playing debate. Bounty runes coming up. NiP going to get the top ones. Navi get the bottom ones. And Alchemist alive once more. And queues up an Ag Scepter. He had Moonshard queued up. I think his team were like, come on, man. You got to pull at least one Axe before you even consider a Moonshard. That's like Alchemist play 101. Got to get back to your team. Mid lane, Magical. Finds PPD and looking for the solo kill with the Skadi slow. Overgrowth is there. Oh, he was fishing for a second kill on the Shaker. Doesn't quite catch him in the Overgrowth, and the TP out just before Blizzy got in range for a lasso.
Level 3 ulti. I mean, it's really worth to use it. He wanted to catch the second hero, but also has a 10% cooldown reduction on level 10, so ulti will be up again.
Oh, he's going to also find 33. Oh, he doesn't see him there. He was going for a TP out. If he did manage to find him, he could have cancelled that. They're fishing. They even use a scan. They're like, where did this Timbersaw go?
And look at the timing. This is the wave with 2 catapults. 35-minute mark.
Blink Echo, they want this up. He gets Glimmered. He gets 4-star forward. He gets double 4-star forward, but this is pushing him away from the life, so he's going to turn and fight with the BKB. He's got the Rage as well as an Abyssal Blade here. He's going to go in the Timbersaw first. He gets taken out with the Shaker. They committed everything to try and kill Alchemist, and the 4-stars keep him alive. Even when you're forcing him into the enemy base, the key thing is force him away from the Lifestealer, and that's exactly what Crystallize had happened to him. Now he's got the bashes, he's manning up, he's taking on Ace, he gets the kill on the Lifestealer, and it is good game. Well played. PPD calls it.
Way better performance by Navi in this game. You can see the team play managed to come back from the really bad laning stage. A lot of lane swaps. You can see the adjustment that Batrider did because he didn't have the lane to go to, and these 4-staff plays force up one of the better in-game items overall, I would say. One of my favorites.
I mean, that's Dota 2 101 as well. Buy 4-staffs. It's always been the support item. You know, Icefrog added some new stuff, some Glimmer Cape, some whatever Aeon did.
Yeah, you remember when 4-staff was 25 mana?
Yeah, that was the good old days. 4-staff used to be the only item you'd expect your support to buy. Even your 4 position. Your 5 would never farm any items. You know, your 5, you just buy wards for 60 minutes. Your 4 position, you're like, all right, we give you 1 item worth of gold, and it's always 4-staff.
Yeah, if you look at the CS, Treant Protector, usually position 4s are extremely greedy, especially for some of the teams, but he had 27 CS, and he did so much in this game, especially that fight against the Earthshaker where he used the 3 charges just to stop his Blink Dagger, so they could not. That was the crucial fight. And also that ward on middle lane, the Observer one, where NiP wanted to take over the game, and the positioning from Navi was just way too good.
Yeah, man, NiP smoked under a few wards multiple times. It's like the vision game that Navi had was just fantastic. I would fully expect to see Zayat's Treant banned out in game 2. I just don't think NiP were ready for it. So we'll see what happens in game 2 draft, because that's coming up next, guys. Stick around. NiP versus Navi continues after a short break. It's time now for our last game of the day. NiP versus Navi. And Navi, Lacoste, they're back.
They're back.
They're
How
playing
many
good Dota.
times this year?
Dunno.
Is this the first one?
Yeah, they were never back at any point of the year. As of today, they are back.
I think we could say that Navi is back after they qualified to TI, so
For sure.
we're back number 2. They played extremely well.
Well-
The Vision game was on point, and I think one thing we didn't talk about was the sentries. 2 invis, you need to invest a lot of gold in those sentry wards.
Mhm.
They're limited right now. You have only 10.
So you run out.
You can't see them.
I
I
would
mean,
say
you can
you're-
buy gem.
Yeah, that's true. But it definitely caused quite a lot of problems. And NiP needs some answers. They've had a really rough group stage. They only have 1 win. and I think they're now 6 losses. No, they had they're 6 losses now. 1 win, 6 losses. Navi 6 wins, 3 losses. That's a good record. That's a kind of record that'll get you to the winner bracket if you keep them at that pace. So we'll see if Navi can continue, and NiP need to change stuff.
Yeah, and then IP just banned out Treant Protector. They don't want to
there
play
we
against
go.
him. He was causing
Yeah.
so many issues, even with 27 CS.
All right.
It's insane.
Well, let's hop ourselves into that draft.
Let's go.
There we go. Let's go. As NiP are going to be first pick, and they're going to take the Shadow Demon, one of the most picked heroes of the tournament, one of the best looking supports.
Yeah, his
Whew.
win rate is around 66, 67% right now.
Okay.
Same goes with Kanka the last time I checked.
What will Navi get in response instead? Do they go for another first 2 pick Alchemist? Definitely a possibility.
They could. Shadow Demon is really good against Alchemist, but there's this little trick that we already talked about where you use a disruption, even though the Radiance is on, you still have time to turn it off. Haha.
They're going Alchemist, I think. That's why they take the AA.
Yeah.
Yep, they know if they pick Alch without AA, NiP probably just... AASD sounds like a bad support duo, and it kind of is, but it's worth having AA against Alchemist.
Yeah, that's a really good point. But you can also switch Shadow Demon to position 3 if needed.
Yeah.
This is also a great hero against the Alchemist. Kind of
Ooh.
forgotten. We still didn't see any Nyx Assassin, at least on our stream. I saw one being picked at least. With the Carapace, you can always stun Alchemist because of the Radiance.
You can stun him, but you still need damage to kill him, which Nyx doesn't necessarily bring to the table himself, but...
With Shadow Demon,
Soulcatcher.
Soulcatcher,
Pretty good spell.
that's his best spell.
It's funny that's what we're now talking about as best spell. It used to be, it was all about the disruption. No longer the case these days, maybe. And as for Navi, they're sticking with what worked. This is a team that has some I think niche picks, but at the same time they're also willing to just stick with some of the same meta picks that work for them and just work right now, like the Alchemist. And I like that from Navi. The AA also another hero that during the CIS qualifiers for TI, this was the most contested 5 position in that CIS region. It was getting first picked constantly, so a hero Navi very familiar with, and also they feel very comfortable on.
It's one of those position 5 heroes who got GPM talent. Pretty much all of those are popular right now, and you have a global presence.
Yep.
You just need a couple of stuns, maybe someone who's invis to set up the ganks with.
Yeah, someone to hunt, or even if it's not someone invis, somebody who has some kind of good stun initiation or catch, like the Beastmaster type heroes, the Bat Rider we saw last game. Get something along those lines for Blizzy. Navi, sticking with some of the bans from last game, we saw them ban out Lone Druid then. 33's Lone Druid. I was talking with Sind about this earlier. This guy just plays a hell of a Lone Druid. He knows all the little fancy tricks you can do. He's so good on it mechanically. Definitely a very annoying player to play against because he has some of those niche picks that you just don't expect that can catch you by surprise and win games.
33 always shine on those heroes that require micro.
I mean, the quote-unquote cheese picks, the Broods, the Visage in the past was another one. Lycan. On the old Optic Gaming that PPD led, they'd swap their roles when they got him one of his heroes like Visage or Lycan, and suddenly he'd be like a carry or a mid. But for now, NiP
This is a good ban, Tusk. It's position 4 who can set things up and has a built-in save, which they could use any kind of save just to keep Alchemist alive, especially against the Nyx Assassin and Shadow Demon. These two can set up so many combos.
10 seconds remaining.
I guess there's not really many other position 4s that have that kind of a save.
5 seconds
Think about heroes that can maybe protect the Alchemist against the Nyx. Definitely a bit more limited. Also see maybe a more limited pull for that mid lane. Will it be another Razor pick for Magical? Nyx, the Carapace on the Razor passive is also another possibility. It's still a good hero because you're not an in-hero. You don't just melt to the Nyx Assassin. I don't mind Razor into Nyx. It's not...
I mean, you can't really count. If you think about like that, Nyx is the best hero in the game because he counters everyone. You just stun him, a lot of uncontrollable damage.
Ultimately, these both Alchemist and whoever you pick mid are going to be going BKB at some point in the game. Presumably, unless there's like some out there pick they go for as their mid. But for now, they get some stun, some lockdown, some control. It's going to be the Zayat's Earth Spirit. Maybe quite as signature of a hero as some of his other ones, but something he is definitely proficient on and plays a decent amount. Navi's always been a team that likes their Earth Spirit.
Earth Spirit is the hero that can set up an easy gank, a lot of overtime damage if you combine that with AA's ulti. They can choose where they want to fight. With Earth Spirit, who rolls in from the fog, Alchemist with Acid Spray. One hero that I wanted to see more, but at least we didn't see on our stream, is that Prophet. That hero still feels really good.
Guess you maybe don't want to play it into AA this game, though, if you're talking about
No,
NiP
I'm not
game,
talking about
just
NiP,
in general.
just in general.
Yeah. I'm a bit surprised we haven't seen more of her. She definitely, it seemed like she was starting to rise in popularity again, like around the qualifiers, and then nope, no more. At least not here at TI from what we've seen. Has there been a single Death Prophet game? Who knows? Too many. Some guy in the chat's laying everyone there right now. Like, yes, it was picked in
Stupid
RNG versus TNC earlier today. Come on. I don't even know if those teams are in the same group. You know, there's a lot of Dota going on. Our brains are a bit Dota overloaded and fried at the moment, which is a great thing. That's my favorite part about TI is just how crazy it is. It's like you have the chaotic group stage where there's just so much Dota and you have no idea what's going on. And then the main event happens. It's one game at a time. It's super hype. And it's like this nice kind of flow from the hectic groups into that main event.
A lot of potential from NiP to hunt down, once again, Alchemist in the jungle, and a lot of magical damage burst. If you combine that with Shadow Demon's second ability, with Tiny, he can blow up anyone at any time in the game.
It does look like we're missing a core Tiny as well. So he is going to be the hero killer. He's the one to hunt the Alchemist. He's the one to just go around stealing his stacks like you say. Good hero to kind of combo with that Nyx Assassin who can scout people out in that Vendetta. Very aggressive play expected from the NiP draft so far.
They also need a hero that can deal with BKB Alchemist. In the previous game, he bought a Blink Dagger. Sometimes you don't even need to go for a Blink Dagger. Just straight Radiance into BKB. If you have a good timing on the Radiance, you can have it by 15-16 minute mark, both of these items, and then you're pretty much unkillable.
Yep. We'll see if they address that through their cores. If not, maybe a hero spell they could just have somebody that goes into like Basher or Abyssal. Some kind of actual lockdown to go through it. I wonder what that carry for Ace might be right now. The Sven has been banned out. He played Lifesteal last game. Didn't look... I mean, it looked okay against the Alchemist in some ways, but at the same time, Alch hits that timing where once he gets that BKB and then eventually the AC, Lifesteal just didn't feel like a threat. Could be the slot game, maybe. That's the hero we've seen played quite a bit against Alch.
That's a good call. If they want to go for it, it's a free slot game. Still is.
Kunkka's an interesting pick too, because this doesn't necessarily have to be a mid. We've seen a bit of offlane Kunkka this tournament, and at previous tournaments. Does leave Navi open with their 10th pick of the draft to get either a mid or an offlaner. And here we go. Will they go for the Slark, or will it be some other thing? I mean, Slark with tiny cores, you have like nothing to hit buildings with, but at the same time, you just go all in on killing heroes and hunting the Alchemist. They stick with the Lifesteal. This is more the comfort zone. Ace has played a lot of Lifestealer in his days.
Lashrak is still in the pool. I would love to see that hero for Navi. They can play really fast. Right now they lack some tower damage. They could swap Kunkka to an offlane and just have Lashrak getting that solo XP on the mid lane. Maybe even safe lane if it's going to be a good matchup for the Alchemists because they have the last pick so they can adjust.
That's true. Yeah, they can absolutely pick up really anything with their last pick. Offlaner, mid, safe laner, because of the flexibility for both Alk and Kunkka with the lanes. With that said, they are a team that will stick to their comfort a lot of the time, so maybe that's where we'll just see Crystallize playing the Alchemist again. And, you know, as you predicted rightly, they're going to ban Leshrac because it's too good of a hero for them, so, you know, they're going to handicap themselves. They're like, we could pick this, but we're going to ban it instead.
We want to win with style. We don't want this game to be too easy.
Yeah, come on, the cost. We're going for the flashy points.
Well, maybe they thought the Lesh is not going to survive, that they're going to get it for themselves.
5 seconds remaining.
What's it going to be? NiP probably looking for a mid laner. SF banned out. Something Magical also plays. He's got an interesting little mid pool of heroes. Not your everyday conventional mids. We've seen a lot of Razor, the SF now being banned. Very well known for his TA. And NiP, you know, they're like Magical. You know Razor?
You know what? We have players who play Razor.
Fata Razor. This guy, I think, has the most career lifetime games on Razor of any pro player. I'm claiming it now. Nahaz, come at me. If that's wrong, I'm calling BS on your facts.
Come at me, bro.
Your stats, yeah.
Queen of Pain is still in the pool if they want to maybe switch things around.
Definitely a possibility.
Usually when Razor is picked, Queen of Pain is banned out.
Maybe they just feel like they have answers for Quap. Like they've got Nyx Assassin already. They've got a lot of burst with Tiny.
Ding, 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 mother!
It will be the Quap.
Well, can you finish the sentence, please?
Me?
Yeah.
Ding, ding,
Just
ding.
kidding, nah.
Are we allowed to say that word? LD said it. Why can't I say it? He said that Ti.
Yeah, that was back in the days when people were not that sensitive.
Oh, and LD's not at Ti anymore. You know? we got rid of it. LD, we don't talk about him. His name's, you know, he's on the James list of banned talent. But yeah, Magical Queen of Pain. And that's, of course, one of those mid-lane matchup counters to the Razor in a lot of ways. And we'll see how he fares.
But overall, it's a good Razor game. Also looks like a good Lifestealer game as well. So that's going to be 33 on Tiny. They want to give him farm priority. Give him the levels.
Yep.
Because he can blow up a lot of these heroes. So the blink timing will be crucial on this Tiny.
And hey, he's got the prestige item to show off. As you must do. So we'll see how Navi approach this game. Already with a game 1 win, and for NiP, you know, you're entering that territory where if you don't start winning games, you start to really worry about finishing last in the group. That is not where you want to be. Prize money wise, it's a huge drop off finishing bottom 2 of the tournament. And of course, you know, results wise, it's the absolute worst case scenario.
We witnessed throughout these 2 days, a lot of the teams, some are looking shaky, making more mistakes than usual because it's a lot at stake.
Yeah, that's often the case with TI. There's just this unreal amount of pressure that you can't really see or measure, particularly at these other tournaments where, you know, there are these major events. I feel like teams like, you know, Secret, VP, they win all these majors because it's just there isn't any pressure on them to perform and win them, so they just go out and just play Dota, play free and lose.
Yeah, you know, we won a couple of majors already. We don't have to prove anything.
Yeah, nothing to prove.
It's a really good point.
And hey, $1 million? You know, do we want $1 million? Not really. Do we want $32 million? Yes, please. I think everyone's, you know, clamoring to do as well as they can at TI. $15 million plus up for grabs for first place alone. There is monumental pressure on these teams.
Right now, for a lot of the teams, I think the mentality is we just don't want to be the last in the groups to get out because there's a huge difference in the money for the 15 and 16 place and the 14.
I mean, particularly for the teams who aren't getting wins. I think now, you know, some teams already have.
I'm not thinking about OG, who has, what, 7 points?
I think they're
points?
8 and 1
Wow.
now. They won game 1 of their series, maybe. I think they're 8 and 1. And even Navi, they're pretty much guaranteed not last place with their 6 wins now. Yeah, they are, I would say, guaranteed not to finish last. Only one of the 9 teams does. Queen of Pain.
forced to use Blink. I mean, if you're gonna play mid against the Razor, you're getting Blink level 1 anyway.
Yep.
Force him to use a static Link, just blink away.
And I think expecting that smoke to come down here. Maybe we'll be expecting this ward. Will either
Will
team
someone
get these
buy
D-wards?
a sentry? That's what I want to see. This is the next double play. Earthspirit has one.
Yep. Oh, whoops! I'm pinging that to you. I forget. Like, I'm the obnoxious observer who's pinging items to other people, like the other casters. Will someone finally deward these? Saxa. It's been scattered out quite a bit here, but we'll be able to get to perhaps a lane that he wants to be in. So it will be that Razor versus Quap mid matchup. Not a lane that Quap straight up wins by any means, but it's one of the few heroes that doesn't get destroyed by Razor, and we should see both Magical and Fata getting some decent farm here.
The thing about Razor is he always pushes the lane because he can't control the unstable card. I guess that's why it's called unstable, huh? And then the lane pushes into your tower, so you're gonna get farm eventually.
Getting the Shadow Poison stacks up early, PPD. Doing what harass he can. Goes for the 4th. We'll get it. There we go. Nicely played. Will he go for the 5th here? Crystallize needs to juke it. PPD. Nope, he's going for the TP up top, because that's where Ace is having a rough time already. And PPD lost even more mana because of that TP, so needs to be careful, as he is a little bit limited in what he can do here. Zayat's getting fairly low, and hey, Dire Courier, Quap Blink. That's the other great thing about Quap Blink. Man, I feel like I see so many Quap Snipe Couriers made.
We discussed about that yesterday, and she also gets an observer board with that sentry.
Nice.
That's a lot of gold.
And health regen, you get the double Tango effect. I assume she ate it with the Tango.
Yeah, she did.
Very nicely done. Zayat's at top, rolling onto PPD, who does have double mangoes here, so he's got more Shadow Poisons if he needs. What's happening up here? Ace is being contested behind his tower. He's actually being bullied by Blizzy here. Blizzy's got double salve and 6 Tangos still left.
I don't think he needed that much region, but
Yeah.
alright.
Look, he's gonna be a happy camper. EPD happily gets rolled on. He's gonna turn and fight Zayat, who does still have a salve here. Needs to be careful not to have it pop by the Shadow Poison. And Ace is constantly getting harassed, going for another cleave, I assume. Really pointing the open wounds just for some extra life still. Ace actually maybe cancel an attack there that he wanted to use, but
They can't really kill him. No. Stout shield, a lot of region.
Zayat rolling on in. Do you like the Earth Spirit taunt? There's the surfboard.
I still prefer my Pudge and Lion.
Regen rune down bottom. Magical's just intentionally taking damage here, by the way, because he knows there's a regen. I like that play. Does as much damage as he can. Grabs the regen. Just gets there in time before Saxa does.
Tip Saxa.
Yeah, he's like, Saxa, you wanted that regen? I don't think so. Oh, he jukes the damage. He keeps the regen on himself, and now he's got a Blink Shadow Strike. Fata could be in some trouble here if he's not careful. Magical knows. He's running forward, looking for that Shadow Strike. Nice plasma from Fata to secure one of those range creeps. But yeah, Fata's in trouble. Without a Courier, without regen. He's got Bottle and Salve. Courier about to respawn, will be coming out to this mid lane immediately.
Yeah, usually
Desperately
Razor
needed.
does not buy a bottle, but in this scenario where he's extremely low with no HP, no mana, it's justified to buy it. I mean, you need to do everything to keep in your lane.
And boots don't really help you. Often, as a Razor, you want boots, but you're playing against a Quap who has Blink, so not something that has much of an impact. Some of these lanes going. Alchemist having the easiest time getting early farm. 33 with 14 last hits and 9 denies. It's getting the better of him. But gotta imagine it, at some point soon we'll see that Alch fall back to the jungle when he's nice and ready. Have to keep an eye on the rune control now, as the mid lane Razor does have a bottle. Magical doesn't have a bottle himself. Went for the double null instead. Speaking of double sat items, double bracer on Crystallizes Alch. Classic Alch things. And he's going to be pretty unkillable in that bottom lane now, I feel.
Guess the hero. Look at the Tiny's items. Someone should post this on Reddit. I mean, he bought the chainmail, will upgrade that phase boost later on. He only wants to be able to stand in the acid spread. Acid spread reduces the armor by 4. Tiny is the hero that has 0 armor.
Rotation mid, Zayat gets the kill. for Magical, who gets first blood. Very nicely done. And that was Magical. What happened to the rune here? Oh, it was an illusion rune. Magical got the 4-minute rune. Oh, toss back. We talked about Alchemist being unkillable. That's going to be tested here. Underneath the tier 1 tower, you're a whole lot less unkillable. And got the damage as Fata TPs in with the plasma to make sure they get that kill.
And now he's going to bottle up the Tiny. 3 charges. They will pick up the bottom bounty runes.
Yeah, he can get even more charges for the Tiny if he wants to. Very nicely done by Fata to rotate in. Does lose a lot of this mid lane. We'll take an eye at the top though. This is where other bounty runes are being claimed. And PPD went for a disruption there, but Blizzy hit him with the torrent. So NiP in the end only get, what, 2 of the bounty runes it looks like? Navi.
1, 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 for 2.
Okay. So Zayat's actually, did Zayat get one bottom? I didn't realize he was going for it, so. Slack sent mid. Gets the Carapace, Magical. Doing a good job getting this harass into the tower without drawing the aggro of the tower. Throws out another Shadow Strike. 3 early points in that nuke.
Meanwhile, Blizzy.
He did this on Batrider, but he's now doing it on freaking Kunkka. This is not what you expect from a Kunkka.
I don't think they can punish him. Like, that's a Shadow Demon.
I mean, he can't. He's dead, right? There's no escape.
You can just TP out if they stun him.
Yeah. By disrupting him, though, I guess he lost the creep wave, but that is still going to push out. And yeah, Blizzy should be dead here. They may go for the Impale soon, since with all this Shadow Poison, he should be dead. He does juke that Shadow Poison, but this will be a dead Blizzy.
A lot of time wasted, and now the creep wave is going to be pushing into the tower. Razor.
There's an Invis room, but there's a Radiant Sentry who's going to stay in range for it. And yeah, pops the Fairy Fire, so he's no longer Invis, and Magical will get himself a second kill this game. Okay. Both sides. There's 4 range creeps against 4 range creeps. What's happening top? This is unheard of.
Ace was just holding it. He was not farming.
Okay.
I mean, he could have pulled it to the side camp and just farm both of those instead.
Yeah. Well, as a result, this Kunkka's not going to quite get the wave pushing out like he had maybe planned, so it works well for him.
Yeah, that's a lot of gold denied.
Yeah. He's got 14 denies already. And Nico will die down in the bottom lane. And 33 even getting the last hit on the neutral as well. 33 having a good game so far on the Tiny. Same time, Alk 31-10. He's not really being contested all too much.
33 is the player that always buys a lot of these small items, has an extra Windlace, a Bracer, a Magic. He's always buying the small item, especially when he plays the Night Stalker. Like, you're gonna see him having an urn, being what we're gonna call 6 slotted at the 15-20 minute mark.
He's currently trying to use these small items to contest the Alk, who is falling back into the jungle. Sneako's going to have to help secure this jungle a bit. Sonic Wave down mid. Looks like Magical is going for the kill on PPD. Damage isn't quite there with the Shadow Strike. They will get the kill. Zayat's getting the last hit. He wants to make sure Fata can get the deny. Magical, though, does not have Blink for a couple of seconds. He needs to get out of here. Does manage to do so before any further damage can threaten to kill him. And this is good news, because Crystallize, that means he's not being contested while he farms here. Mud Golems, Shard Golems, multiple stacks being farmed up. And Siniko's also found a haste room for Queen of Pain, who's going to blink on over to grab that one.
They need to set up some vision at the entrance of the jungle. Zayats has 1 observer, 1 sentry.
Where is he going to plant these? Right where you'd expect. Entrance, 2 entrants into this Radiant jungle, both covered by this observer ward.
So the only way to approach is by buying a smoke. Bounty runes are spawning in a minute and 30 seconds. This is where NiP wants to make a move.
Yeah. PPD TPing back mid. There's been another initiation onto Fata. The kick is not going to cancel the TP. And things will settle down. There's a nice little stack here for the Alchemist in the other jungle, and that was being pinged out. So I think yeah, he's making his way over there already. If he gets here in time, he may be able to stack another camp. Doesn't look like he'll be here for this one. It's a range creep, so yeah, no chance to get this stack off. And they missed both stacks, unfortunately. Sax is kind of hunting. He's got wards here, so he may just be looking to get some vision down. Doesn't block the camp. He's just setting up the vision to try and hunt for kills later.
A little bit of trouble.
Gets the cold feet. Has a TP. Does he go for it, or does he just want the experience? He's juking. Will he go for a TP out? Yeah, he will.
Uses the taunt.
Gets out of there. Tiny will be left fishing. Back at mid. Blink away. Like they were going for that kill there as Crystallize continues to farm. He's up to 2.2k gold suddenly. Looking like maybe a faster Radiance timing than what we saw last game. He's well ahead of the Lifestealer in terms of net worth. As you'd expect, anytime Alchemist has a halfway decent game, he is going to outfarm anyone in the game.
Yeah, that's 3 points in Greevil's Greed. He had some of the stacks on bottom. PPD, planting an Observer Ward.
They will have seen... Oh, no, they didn't. He smoked up.
Yeah,
Smart
he
play
smoked
from
up, but
PPD.
they know something is up because Kanka would not TP like this.
Oh, Magical tried to blink in and steal it. That would have been huge as far as the Alchemist getting some gold. They are now trying to punish you. They've got Ghost Ship, but X is on cooldown. As a result, doesn't look like they'll be able to get the big kill on the Tiny, but they'll get PPD instead. They're even going to use the boat for this, just to make sure. They feel like they needed the damage.
And here comes Sona Eco to get that kill.
It's like same as stealing that tier 1 mid tower last game. Like, hey, that's mine, guys. Needed that from my Tome of Knowledge. Actually, getting level 6 on AA is pretty big this game, so don't fully blame him.
Tiny Invis lacking a little bit of mana. If he just tosses him back to the tower, just needs a hero to stand near the tower.
Maybe they don't need that toss back. Doesn't look like it. Avatar toss combo, easy kill. Not maybe the Alchemist you'd hope to kill at this stage of the game. It is just that support. As, speaking of support kills, Saksa with the Vendetta goes for the Impale. Follow up the Carapaces there as well, and another kill for NiP, who are doing a good job hunting some of these heroes. They stop the stacks from happening, so not just a kill, but also gold denied from Alchemist.
Yeah, meanwhile, Alchemist is just farming the other part of the jungle.
Yeah.
2 deep wards placed by PPD to see where Alchemist is farming, because they have an Invis hero. Tiny is getting close to his item. What is he buying? Is that... yeah, that's an urn.
Spirit Vessel Rush, you think?
I think so. Against the Alchemist. Has that Windlace already. You don't necessarily need to have a Blink Dagger this early on with the Phase Boots and Windlace. You have a lot of ways to approach a team fight. Look at this. 425.
Zayat's just respawned and instantly gets ran at. The toss into Ace's Lifestealer gives him a spoon-fed kill. We'll be happy about that one. Lifestealer now getting involved in the kill scoreboard as well. 1-0. Ace has been free farming away up top.
I'm a big fan of the players who adjust to a certain situation, thinking out of the box. This is unorthodox build on Tiny, but you need to have it.
Yeah. Makes sense. So for Navi, they're kind of in this passive farming stage with the Alchemist, of course, but the rest of the team, they've got Ice Blast, they've got Kunkka. It does feel like they maybe want to try and make some plays here, but they're just being hunted in their own jungle wherever they go. Navi getting picked apart. Another kill for this Tiny, who now has Urn Charges to play around with as well. Killing off that AA, who does have that level 6 ultimate, but not really any good setup or ways to use it right now, it feels.
This is such a good ward from PPD, because if you place a sentry to de-ward this, which is kind of usual high ground ward, you're not going to get it, or this one.
Yep. And they're just playing around this vision so well. They're just camped on this high ground. This entire jungle has been off limits for the Alchemist. There's a reason why he's playing around this bottom jungle, and it's because it's much safer. He's got his Observer Ward to protect him there, and he's going to get a pretty good time in his Radiance as a result. Roll on in there looking for Ace. He does manage to get away. He pops the Rage as well, and Zayat's almost in some trouble there. Tiny comes swooping on in. This is going to be another kill. Zayat's is just dying time and time again. That's 3 deaths in quick succession. PPD himself in a bit too deep. Sonic Wave being thrown out as well to make sure Magical can secure that kill.
I think NiP is fine with this trade. 2 ultis, actually 1 big ulti cooldown, 1 35 seconds to get a PPD, and they got the tower. Meanwhile, Alchemist has his Radiance, just needs to use the Courier.
Yep. And for Navi, your timing is, it's not the first 13 minutes of the game. You have an Alchemist on your team, everything you're looking to do comes a bit later, around that maybe 20-minute stage, Radiance, Blink, or even the BKB timings in a lot of ways. Things will quite happily play at a slower pace for them. And also just with Kunkka being under-leveled, because the X is really their way to catch and kill heroes.
Yeah.
And he's had level 1 X for a long time, only now. He's level 2 X now.
He's not even maxing out the Tidebringer.
I don't think he can afford
He's
to.
going to max the X mark because they lack the catch.
Yep. He's kind of, you have to. You're the setup for the Ice Blast, so At this point, you need as many points in the X as possible. PPD dropping sentries here, trying to see if he can find any vision. Just a sentry ward. Vision somewhat limited right now. And yeah, there we go. Third point in the X. Kunkka, as you suggested, maxing out the X. And yeah, this sentry ward, you mentioned the sentry placement. They expected the observer ward to maybe not be on the cliff. That's why they didn't plant the sentry right on top of it, but...
No, it reaches the cliff, but also this is a common spot for a ward, so that's why you place it more to the east.
This rotation and gank from Navi will catch 33 on the Tiny with the Ice Blast damage. Will bring him on down, and Suniko once more, once PPD. Does look like Crystallize will get one top, but he pays for it with his life. Alchemist gets the bounty rune, I guess, kinda. No, I don't know. Worth it's probably not the right word there.
I mean, you do not want to die with Alchemist. Every single time a hero like an Alchemist or Meepo dies, he loses 2.5 times more farm than the normal hero.
It's definitely not something he'll be too thrilled about. They did get the 2 bounty runes up top. Queen of Pain playing down this bottom lane. Is going for an Orchid first.
Their vision game is much, much better. In this game, one of the reasons why they lost the previous one was because Navi had much better overall vision game and the positioning. Now another deep ward, which is not gonna get rewarded.
Yep. Yeah, these ward placements away from the obvious spots, these cliffs.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And this is causing all kinds of problems. And they've also got Saxa, who's such a kill threat on the map, vendetting around. And it's got the Meteor Hammer completed, so much lockdown potential with the Carapace, Impale, and Meteor Hammer. This Observer Ward placed under a sentry though, so this one will be dewarded by Navi.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
We'll still yet to see a full 5-on-5 fight. Right now, Navi does not want to take it before Alchemist gets a BKB. He's also turning off the Radiance when he's not using it, just in case that Nyx Assassin is there in Invis.
Gets the silence. Is it going to be long enough? He gets the rage off right before the unstable concoction hits. It was flying through the air.
Only level 1 silence.
Yeah. Magical needs to be careful who blinks away before Sax can do anything to him. Look at this Radiant Sentry Ward action. Their minimap is just littered with sentries. You've got to imagine they don't have too many left available. Limited resource these days in the shop, and they've just got to buy whatever they can against Nyx Assassin, but only so many left to buy. Bottom lane, Magical. Trying to get some more farm. Meteor Hammer being thrown from the high ground just to do some tier 2 tower damage. Not too shabby. So slowly add up of time and Magical maybe.
Oh, if he blinks out, he's dead.
Yep, he blinked right into him. And Magical's like, I think I messed up. There's only, you either need to stay in those trees or you need to blink to the right. Obviously he doesn't quite know where those heroes are positioned.
The next level play would be stay, don't move, because Plasma Field revealed him, but then you lose the vision and still. Tier 1 tower on the top.
Infest
they're taking some damage on it.
Nyx Assassin comes in with a Vendetta up top. And the Infest, they're going to go for Suniko here. The TP coming in from another NiP member. It's 33 looking for Blizzy. He's going for the TP out. Will he guess with an Avalanche? No, he doesn't go for it. Down bottom, meanwhile, there's a straggler. Fata, what are you doing here? And Navi, no, he should not be there. Quadruple tips. They're trying to tilt Fata. Saying, your team TP'd out with an Infest gank up top. You should not be caught left behind. I think Navi themselves know that kill shouldn't really happen, but they'll happily take it.
And this is what I talked about. Look at 33. He bought another Windlace 19 minutes in on a Tiny.
All about that movement speed. He even has that movement speed talent. Science. Bye-bye. Ace says, I'll take this kill. Thanks, guys. Padding the KDA. Is Navi very much on the back foot now. They have completed the BKB on Alchemist. Has an AC queued up, but still have a bit of room to grow. Alchemist will come online kind of now with that BKB, but he also wants a few more levels as well.
That's gonna be a Deso on a life stealer. If they can get a kill or two, maybe they can transition into Roche.
Yep. Almost certainly an objective that NiP want for themselves at this point. Navi, a few items coming up soon. Magical with an Orchid. About to be completed. Kunka's got a Force Staff queued up, not
Yeah, I love
conventional.
that. Yeah, I mean, he's not playing any carry Kanka, he just wants to build the items that his team needs.
Alright, TPD with the Unstable Concoction. They're going to follow it up with a Rolling Boulder. And they delete the Shadow Demon to start this fight off. Zayat is going to throw out the Magnetize. Just
Zoning Magnetize.
Hell Ace. The Bounty Rune was picked up by NiP, so only one Bounty Rune for Navi with their Alchemist.
With that Force Staff, you can just save people because they don't have any kind of save mechanism at the moment.
Yeah.
It's great against the Razor since they have 3 melee heroes to just push them out. Great against the Lifestealer as well.
Yeah, very good Force Staff game. Alchemist being generous, giving some creeps to the Quap who desperately needs some farm right now. We'll have the Orchid completed now, coming out in the career. Gives them a way to initiate and go for the kill on Ace's Lifestealer, to go for kills like the Nyx Assassin, stop things like the Disruption, being used as a defensive tool. Very good item this game. Razor will have a BKB as far as ways to get rid of it, but that pretty much is the only tool to get rid of Orchid for the time being. And they want to hunt DPD. Captain Peter with the Orchid. Easy kill.
Can they transition this into tier 2 towers since they lost the tier 2 tower on bottom? Nah, they're not gonna trade.
Well, they're gonna lose heroes here if they're not careful. Yep. Quick and easy kill. The Infest gank once again. They're just underestimating NiP's damage potential. Blizzy going for the TP out 33. Avalanche, it comes half a second too late. Kunkka will survive. And Navi should not have hung around to go for that tier 2 tower.
Next Assassin is doing God's work in this game. He's involved in 9 out of 15 kills, setting up some big stuff with the Lifestealer, playing around his Infest timing. Maybe they should consider getting a gem early on. If Kunkka gets a Force Staff and then they buy a gem, so they're gonna have a save for someone who's carrying it, it could be worth it. And Saksa on a mid lane, just dropping those bombs on the tower.
Dropping the hammer. This 33 does have a Blink Dagger queued up next, so all this movement speed. And Hero not really known for being that mobile, and he's going to have the Blink Dagger as well on top of that. So Navi recognizing they don't have good control over this part of the map. Ooh, he looked for the Orchid. He was hoping for that Ice Blast with the Orchid initiation and the Earth Spirit to maybe catch Ace's Lifestealer by surprise. They did have Sonic Wave for some burst as well.
And that's gonna be a free tier 2 tower for them as well.
Yep.
Top lane is also pushing in.
Nope, he's going to have his Assault Cuirass momentarily, just 400 gold away. Waiting for some neutrals to respawn. Not interested in defending their outer towers, Navi. They let the tier 2 tower top go down. Now they're going to smoke up. I think they're smoking towards Crystallize, who does have the AC. This is a decent, scary timing.
Yeah, and once again, he turns off the Radiance just in case there's a Nyx Assassin hunting him, so he can't use the Carapace.
There's an Arcane Rune. It doesn't look like it's going to be grabbed here. They find Nyx Assassin. He's got an Infest inside of him. Lifesteal's just going to pop out with the Rage. Goes for Earth Spirit, but he just rolls on out of there. Ace could be in some trouble if he's not careful. The Blink forward. He finds a target for the stun. Crystallize, avoids stunning himself. Pops the BKB. The
Nice
toss to
toss
save. 33 helping his buddy out. Ace has no Rage for 3 more seconds here. He's in a lot of trouble. The Orchid will help finish him off. And Navi with the BKB AC timing. They find a lifesteal. They commit a lot just for the 1 kill though. That was a big smoke rotation, but they're also going to look to follow up with a tier 1 tower.
Patience from Fada. He did not want to pop a BKB there, even though he was in trouble. Tiny tosses him to the high ground. Saves the 10-second BKB. And the tier 2 tower is gone.
Oh, what a nice Queen of Pain player. He says, you give me some creeps early, you can have this Illusion Rune. Crystallize. Being gifted that one. Oh, Saksa Vendetta was on cooldown for a couple more seconds. He's going to perhaps be pulled back in. He gets him with the torrent.
Well,
You
fool
can't
me
mind
once.
him, Lizzie. He says, I know what you're up to, my friend. And Magical will come blinking in to secure the kill. There we go, AA level 10. Gets that GPM talent. That's a happy support now.
This Nyx Assassin is so farmed. He's more farmed than Kunkka by 1,000 gold because of the GPM
Jeez.
talent.
Yeah.
I mean, this was also his first death.
Oh, by the way, Kunkka didn't end up going for the 4-staff.
I still think they need a 4-staff.
Is Earth Spirit? No, he's got a Blink Dagger queued up. I'd expect after the Solar Crest, but you know, Solar Crest on out, of course, pretty damn good. But I mean, Solar Crest as an item feels like one of the items that is just a bit busted right now.
Definitely one of the strongest items. Might be actually the strongest item in this patch.
Yeah. It's one of those items, you know, if there was like an, you know, F or G or H, whatever letter we're up to, patch tomorrow, there'd been probably some small, like tiny little Ice Frog nerfs to it, but it's not too out of control.
I don't think it needs to have 7 armor. 6 armor is fine. Even 5 armor would be fine. One medallion.
But as it stands, you know, you can't make these radical changes now that TI is over. We'll see. I'm sure there'll be some crazy big patches after TI. That'll be fun to see. But we're going to figure out who is the champion of this current Dota 2 patch, who will be walking away with $15 million plus in prize money. That's what we're answering these couple of weeks. Navi hoping to make a name for themselves. So far, so good. Fata, uh-oh. Does have the BKB. He decides not to pop it because he's got PPD behind him with the defensive disruption. The Soul Catcher doing a decent job of taking away some of Crystallizer's health. He will be getting it back soon as charge forward is there.
Back.
Yeah. Kicks Crystallize out and then he rolls out himself. That's Fata's BKB down. So Nico doesn't have Ice Blast, but they're going to go with Fata now. Fata's in trouble. He's been X'd. The boat's going to pull him back. Is there a disruption save? Doesn't look like a PPD. He can't get in. His disruption was on cooldown, and now 33 could be in some trouble himself. He's got an infested Lifestealer inside. 33 looking to take this fight. Alchemist is going to pop the BKB. Doesn't have Chemical Rage though, so I don't think Navi want to take this one. And they see that Razor buyback.
They're really fine with this.
Yeah.
Another deep ward. Look where, and it's gone.
But
That's the gem.
Buyback.
Someone bought a gem, Queen of Pain, as we talked about.
Yeah.
Because they're running out of sentries, and I mean, you can't really sentry the whole map. Queen of Pain died a couple of times because of that Nyx Assassin and Lifestealer gank.
Yep.
I don't think they can do anything. They can't really threaten the high ground. Lifestealer can come, hit a couple of times, but there's going to be an acid spray. Maybe they can try to drop the Meteor Hammer.
Just chip away at the tower or something. They got to be a bit careful. Like your Razor just fought back. A dieback could be really bad. If anything, I feel like they should be playing more around, like just trying to secure Roche. Don't fight at the enemy high ground. If you want to try force an objective, force Roche out and fight on even terms. And if anything, make it favorable. Have a vision advantage. De-ward that Roshan part of the map. Play around your vision. Pushing high ground. You don't push high ground without an Aegis, for one thing.
And you can't also take the Roche because there's a threat of AA. They have a really good fight into the Roche pit. Also, they have a vision there.
For sure. So Navi playing defensively on their high ground for now. Happy just to accumulate their next couple of items. BKB for Queen of Pain, the big one they're waiting on right now. It'll just allow her to play so much more aggressively in these fights. Not having to worry about mostly the Nyx Assassin with his Carapace and all his stuns, but even heroes like Tiny.
Still, they're not leaving the base, but all the gold coming to them, both top lane and the mid lane.
Oh.
NiP just smoked.
What are they doing? They're smoking kind of early. Normally you'd see these smokes more around the bounty runes, but they are expecting Alchemist to be in this jungle, it feels like, but that is not the case. I believe they see him mid, so I think they realize there's not any kills to be had. Oh, okay, no, on the high ground. They're actually going to jump in. They want the Nyx Assassin. He has the defensive heals to get rid of the Orchid. Zayas is there with the Magnetize, trying to turn this one around. Ace has to be careful. His Rage is wearing off, but he's got a BKB, so he's got so much magic community here to play around. Crystallize has been slowed by the Demonic Purge. He gets the bash onto Fata's Razor.
That's a dieback.
And that's a dieback on Razor. All they've killed is the Air Spirit. Blinking it is magical. He just finished off this BKB. He's got an Orchid now. He's going to use it on PPD, taking a second kill.
They have enough time to go into Roche pit.
Yeah.
With the AC, with the acid spray, a lot of minus armor.
33. He was looking for the Queen of Pain there, I want to say. but I don't think he's got the damage for it. Magical's going to play it safe and head back to Fountain just to heal up. Dire scan on Roshan, like, are they doing this? They still might. Alkit's level 20, so gets that cleave talent. There's Blizzy sniping that haste rune. He's just about completed this Solar Crest. That's going to be such a big boost to the teamfight of Navi when you can chuck that on the Alchemist. He's going to be so scary.
And this is what I like to see. Him adjusting once again. On level 10, he picked up the armor talent instead because he's not dealing any damage. And the armor is so valuable in this game against the Razor, against the Lifestealer.
Yep.
They're standing on a ward right now. Bounties are spawning.
He's going to get this one. Crystallize. Manages to take the bounty rune there. The two down bottom also still available. Saksa with the chain stuns. Orchid comes out onto the Nyx Assassin, turns around with the Chemical Rage and the BKB. He's going to be able to take out the Tiny. Does cost him a BKB, but he's more than happy to do that. He's got the BKB still going. Unstable Concoction Stun doesn't hit Saksa. But the Carapace is there, followed by a Meteor Hammer. The Meteor Hammer will not hit Crystallize. He's got the Abyssal as well. Dead Nyx. SD buying back as well. This fight
is over. There's no need to buy back because the Nyx Assassin has, I mean, he has a buyback, but they already used what they had. Razor on
they're buying back to
side of the
contest
map.
Roche. PPD makes the call. Guys, we cannot give them Aegis.
He's going to back off.
You're so happy about this if you're Navi. You do have to reset a little bit.
Yeah, but now you need to run into Roche Pit because you used 3 buybacks and you're not getting anything out of this.
Are you strong enough to do so? It feels very scary against the Ice Blast. They're smoking for a pick-off first, it feels.
You need to make something happen. Anything. Otherwise, if you just die with 2-3 heroes...
Well, they've got this ward. They want to fight
around
around
lose
this
Roche.
Yeah, Magical, I think he wanted to de-ward, but at the same time, he doesn't feel safe doing so. And guess what? They just scanned Roshan. They know NiP are not at Roshan, which means NiP are hunting them. So Navi make the right call. They fall back. They're playing on their high ground. They're going to have to move out soon. They no longer have scan, so they don't know what's happening at Roshan. They could fire an Ice Blast, but you also maybe don't want to waste Ice Blast and put it on cooldown. No good ways to scout Roshan for Navi.
He's fishing for some info in the mid. Oh, he got him. He also has a buyback. That's why he's doing it.
Zayat's baiting. He knows. There's the buyback to play around. Crystallize goes running in with the BKB. He turns. He's going to fight and bring down Razor. Still no buyback on the Razor, and the Bashes will take out the Lifestealer. Buyback available. I don't think he wants to use it. This fight looks also lost. I think NiP just have to cut their losses, and their losses are going to be very, very heavy. Tiny going down to the Shadow Poison. Shadow Demon as well, getting picked apart, and NiP get team wiped.
When you say heavy, you mean full team wipe. They can take the Roche because they didn't take the tier 1 tower. It's full HP. They can't threaten the Rexes.
Navi destroying NiP. To the high ground they go. Oh, sorry, to the Roshan pit they go. And Navi will claim an Aegis. Ice Blast flying on through. This is like some BM Ice Blast. Let's hit Razor as he comes back in. Well, NiP in a world of trouble as things are not looking great for the European squad. Navi playing through a brutal CIS qualifier, just really showing up here at TI. 6 wins, 3 losses, and looking to claim another one.
They also give Aegis the Queen of Pain. So with that gem, they're gonna de-ward whatever wards NiP put down. Even though they're still on a different spot, so it's really hard to actually kill them. And now Alchemist is 6 slotted, so he's gonna start getting some Aghanim Scepters.
Oh yeah, that's the fun time of the game. This was such a good gem pickup for Quab. That just completely changed the game, having a gem all of a sudden. Allowed them to hunt down, prevent this Nyx. Saksa, who was causing all these problems in the early to mid game, suddenly became a liability in some ways, so not quite what they're hoping for. Ace is going to be careful. He's going to BKB, as well as the Rage.
Meanwhile, they found Tiny.
Uh-oh. Tiny being kicked and bullied around. 33. No escape for you. Magical will find and get the kill. Unstoppable streak. 10 kills, 2 deaths. This has been absolutely fantastic Queen of Pain play. Navi Looking like a hell of a team here. As Queen of Pain hits level 20, gets that spell, Lifesteal Talent as well, and NiP are going to be put in this position where you're kind of playing for the high ground defense. And Solo Crest on Kunkka means this Alchemist is going to be quite the raid boss, able to just belt away at this tier 3 tower. And it looks like Navi are indeed intent on going for the high ground. Magic just goes blinking in. Once the Shadow Demon kill with the Ice Blast Sonic Wave, there should be enough damage to kill a PPD. 1 or 2 more right clicks. Has no buyback. That's why Magical wants this. 1 more screen PPD. He should die in the fountain. Will do so. Great play from Magical. No more SD to worry about. It may be a 5 position, but it's such a key kill to get. And Crystallize says, well, I can just go running in myself. Kills 1.
Bash, bash.
Uses that BKB, though. BKB is down.
Lifestealer has double damage in the bottle if they want to take this fight.
Navi used double BKB on Alk as well as Queen of Pain, but at the same time, they've turned it into a 5v3. And Magical the one with the H, so he's the one that's going to be in charge of hitting buildings. It's not Alchemist. Alchemist has to play this a little bit cautiously.
Age is still up and running for another 2 minutes. This is going to be a free set of Raxes for Navi.
Yep. No contest, it feels like. They scan. They're still a little bit worried about some kind of a flank coming in. And Navi, maybe seeing NiP defend this one. They did pop the glyph, but no. Still no initiation coming in. Navi with the Observer Sentry combo as well. So they see absolutely everything. And they're going to fall back and take 4 bounty runes, it looks like.
NiP, they need to spend all of their gold, get the items. There's no point of saving a buyback because they don't have them. And Razor and Lifestealer, both of them have AC queued up. They need to talk to each other, see what's happening.
Maybe that's part of what's going wrong, the communication for NiP. There we go. Razor shifts over to a Shiver's Guard. Saying, all right,
and buys a Lotus Orb.
Okay, casual. Oh, as Kunkka does too, as Co-op buys a Shiver. All right, items galore all over the place. Lotus helps get rid of that Orchid, as well as things like Shadow Strike, and can bounce back some spells, like the Unstable Concoction as well. What are Navi looking to do here? They've still got Aegis for another minute, so it looks like they may just go for a second lane here. They are charging down this middle lane. Alchemist Crystallized trailing behind. Aghanim Scepter. Who's it going to be, Lacoste?
For you to give, Queen of Pain has Arcane Rune in the bottle. I would give it to Queen of Pain. The second one on the list is probably Earth Spirit, so that they can have this cool ability.
Giving it to Earth Spirit first. He's got Blink, so maybe he's looking to kick someone out. The Enchant Remnant.
Yeah, I forgot the name. I said cool ability.
Yeah, I didn't know either. I hovered over it.
It's been a while.
Yep. Looking to blink in and kick someone in. He's got the X as well. Zayats, he's going for it. He kicks in the Razor. There you go, my friend. He goes in really deep. There's a BKB from Razor, but he gets Abyssal Bladed up. Crystallized can't throw out the stun, but it doesn't matter because he's BKB'd himself. And Fata, he just bought a Lotus Orb. He is dead and done for, but does have buyback at least. That's the Accept on the Earth Spirit. Cool ability indeed, say Navi and PPD. He's saying this Orchid is not a very cool ability. He gets jumped on. Whoop. Keeps alive for now, but he should be popping as soon as he pops out of the disruption. There's a torrent there. The poison damage is more than enough. Crystallized on the front lines, getting brought down pretty low. He's going to be a bit careful here. Ace is trying to burn him down, but Crystallized is so damn tanky. All of these items he's got making him really beefy. And Ace even popped the BKB for that. And they forced out the Razor buyback.
They can reset. He's going to X-mark him.
Yep.
He will bring the region, get some clarities, get some flasks, come back to a fight.
Double clarity. Doesn't look like he's got the flask, but Chemical Rage is available soon for the Alchemist, who also gets an Illusion Rune so he can push out some of these side lanes. And oh, who they kicked in now? It's Fata once again, the Razor. He got caught out bottom and got tipped. He's getting caught out again and getting tipped once more. Oh, Fata, he's just not having a very friendly game. And Navi, they're not being very friendly themselves. Giving him some more tips and rubbing salt in the wound.
He also has an Ether Lens for a better kick.
Yep, Crystallize, he's gone charging him with the BKB. 133 with the force up there to help him out. Instead, it's going to be Nyx Assassin Saxa going down instead. Pop on the backlights. Again, it's Captain PPD. Magical just has it out for Peter. Keeps on blinking into Solar Killer. And with that, it's mid lane of Rax. It looks like bottom lane of Rax. It's looking like the end for NiP. 35k gold lead. Last hurrah is here. It's another Remnant in. They've kicked in Saxa. The Earth Spirit Axe coming into play time and time again. So Nico, he does get picked off here, but immediate buyback. He can throw the Ice Blast even if he wants to as well. Forcing to the high ground is 33. He tries to keep himself alive, but the roll in from the Earth Spirit will catch him. Ace as well in all sorts of trouble. Does have rage in a couple of seconds. Ace may be able to keep himself alive. Sacks a Blink Scream beyond godlike from Magical. It's only life, so
There's the
Ace
bash,
alive.
and
Oh, he
double
doesn't get
Gs
it.
are dropped. That's gonna be another one in the bag for Navi. 2-0 against NiP.
Check out those Instagrams. Saniko of the Laputa, Navi Magical. Follow these boys. They're playing some great Dota. And they want you to also check out.
Let me just go to my Instagram and follow these boys first.
Me too. Here we go. They've earned it. You know, they've been playing some good Dota. I'm sorry, it doesn't work in China. That one's blocked. You know, those of you who aren't here with us and can actually access Instagram, you know, check out Navi.
Yeah,
on
once
Instagram.
again, amazing performance, the itemization, and in the end, that Aghanim Scepter kick from Earth Spirit with the Ether Lens.
I mean, I thought it was going to be a co-op Ags too. I was like, you know, it's co-op, it's a core. You give it to the core, but it paid for itself.
Yeah, also the X-Mark play. Plus
Yeah.
he puts a Lotus Orb on himself, and you can't really do anything to him.
It was nice. It was very nice. Everyone on Navi is playing good Dota. Like Magical is 16-2 on Queen of Pain. Blizzy's Kunkka goes for a more utility build. Only dies once the entire game, and I mean, it was a great showing. Navi looked like a pretty scary team here at TI.
For sure, they're looking one of the better teams, at least the games that we were casting.
Yeah. As for NiP, 1 win and what, 7 losses now?
Ooh, yikes!
Is it 7 or 5?
I think it's
I think it's 7, right?
it's 7 actually. Yep.
Yikes indeed. That's rough. A lot of Dota. You've only played 2 days. That means you've played 4 series, which means you have another 4 series remaining. So, time to catch up. The big thing is, of course, not finishing in the last place, bottom of your group. Ideally, you win a lot of those games and somehow find yourself in the winner bracket. But for NiP, you know, they've got to kind of do some soul searching because it's not really clicking with them.
Yeah, I mean, you won 1 out of 8 games. You need to figure out what's wrong and try to fix that.
Yeah.
You don't have much time, so.
All right. Well, we'll see more of NiP tomorrow. We'll see more of everyone tomorrow. We're done for today, at least here on Stream D. Check out all the other games going on. I believe some of them haven't quite finished. You know, we had a fairly quick affair here, but it's been a great day of Dota 2. The group stage continues tomorrow. Myself, GodZ, as well as Lacoste. I want to thank you guys. You know, some great Dota. Any final words? Anything else to say?
Follow us on Twitter and Instagram as well. We're not going to post those, but stay cool, guys. We're going to see you tomorrow.
Sounds good. See you guys later.
Level 25 also becomes really scary on Grimstroke, the Ink Swell radius.